need a motor. Yeah, now you got it. Now, hard as you can. Yeah, it needs oiling too.
But you know, it's probably seen a lot of spinning.
Yeah.
This machine.
Since 1990s till lately.
Do you know where it came from?
Used to be mine. That carder too, that big carding machine.
Yeah.
That was mine.
When did you start knitting?
I used to just watch when I used to be with my grandparents because I was the one that was the housekeeper. And all the rest of the ladies were knitting. All knitting. And if they put it down and I'd go and do the plain knitting, and they would rip it down as if my knitting was too tight.
They were very exacting.
Yeah.
So was that everybody in the family had their job, and then
Mm-hmm.
did you know what your job was going to be early on? Or did it, well...
Nope. I think I made my first sweater when I was 22.
22.
And then,
Do you remember what it was?
in those days, what was popular was the deer.
Yeah.
2 deers with a tree in the middle. That was always popular, that one. They call it snowflakes.
Yeah.
A wool man, each farmer used to come around. But there used to be one that used to come around from Victoria. My grandmother used to call him Hyman, Mr. Hyman. Buy the sweaters and everything and sell raw wool. And that was our job too, to wash wool, pack water from the river, hang them up,
Card the wool.
dry them, tease them first, take all the dirt out, and then card them and spin them. That was a lot of work. Yeah, I guess it went by the pound.
Yeah.
So one sheep, and nice with a lot of wool, that was probably good for a sweater.
Yeah.
And then comes the gray and the black. And then the black was something to be looking out for all the time. There wasn't very many black sheep. But they found that they had to have that. The farmers had to learn to buy those for the sweaters,
Right.
for the wool buyers.
So who bought the sweaters way back then? You would take them to Victorian?
Victoria buyers and canoe store down Cooksila, and Mr. and Mrs. Hill, right in Cooksila. Yeah, still go to Victoria now.
Yeah.
No more Cooksila.
So you really get a feel for the wool, eh? I've always watched when your hands are working with wool that you can feel the thickness. It's like you can feel the strength where it's strong and where you can pull it.
Yeah, and if it's too fine, then you break it and double it over.
Yeah.
If it's too thick, you take it and you stretch it like so. Yeah, nobody goes much for the deer anymore. It's kind of faded away.
That's funny, eh? What about...
But the eagle is still popular.
The eagle is popular, yeah.
And the whale.
Hummingbird.
Salmon.
Salmon.
Not too many ask for salmon.
What about buckus?
No, nobody ever asked for that. This was made by an old man. Oh, he wasn't that old. He wasn't old in that time. He was a spinner maker, and he made beautiful, and he charged $75 for.
I was noticing how heavy that ready spun wool is.
It is heavy.
Yeah. It must even be heavy when you're working it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I have to have a footstool or before I had that, I'd have another chair, and and have this sitting on there.
And then just put your
Yeah.
feet out.
Yeah. My work on it. We never used to get such thing as money, social assistance, it's called now. It was just a voucher for overweighty when it used to be right in town.
Oh, yeah. Where did that come from?
From Indian Affairs. We didn't have such thing as a band office then yet. Yeah, Indian Affairs.
So is it still,
It was in Duncan, up at where the clock is.
yeah? Oh.
That's where Indian Affairs was.
And there was no elected chief back then? It was
There was
traditional chiefs? Or,
chief on each reserve,
yeah,
and Gus is a hereditary chief. He's
for how much?
for Cowichan,
Cowichan,
yeah,
yeah,
where we live. That's Cowichan.
yeah. So there was chiefs on each reserve?
Each reserve, yeah.
Yeah. Were the big houses?
Oh, those lots in those times.
Yeah. Do you remember that when there were?
There was 3 in Clem. There was 3. Because as a child, and when we first got to Clem, and my grandmother had real good ears, and she said, "Oh, they're coming down." She could hear the rattle on their stick, eh? She said, "Go to the big house. I'm out them." She means get a stick and go bang on the what they sit on now. They're not supposed to sit on those. That was for banging your stick. Not everybody had a drum.
Yeah.
Not everybody. Just the lead singer from each reserve used to have a drum.
Wow.
The rest used to have a stick.
Yeah. And they bang on the wood.
Yeah, on the kawat, yeah, kawat. Yeah, now they sit on the kawat
Where did they sit before?
behind it, so they could use the kawat, yeah. And the ladies had little sticks.
But they didn't live in the big houses back then.
They used to.
Yeah.
They used to before they start giving houses to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Indian Affairs started in before my time. I was born in 36, eh?
Yeah.
Because we got a little house.
Yeah.
But I remember living in the longhouse down the common.
Do you?
Yeah. And they had us in the little, what the new dancers sit in now, those.
So they broke it off like that?
Yeah,
Tents?
that was our apartment.
Yeah.
Well, what's the comments on your blanket?
Comments on my blanket are actually how beautiful it is.
Uh-huh.
Because we were looking at the back of it and looking at the way that was knit and just talking about what kind of technique that must have been to bring the threads all at the back and have the design come to the front, and what an incredible technique that was. And I realized after that I was looking at my blanket that that's what it was happening in all the sweaters.
Yeah,
right?
yes.
So I don't know if there's a name for that or how that happens.
Well, there's an argument between the English and the Irish and the Scottish. They argue who taught us, our ancestors first, eh?
Right.
But then we realized that they all did, because they all sort of have some of the patterns we use is from either Ireland, England, or Scotland. So, and one of my grandmothers, she did housekeeping she had this nice lady. She didn't say what country she was from, but she taught her how to do tams with the holes in it. My grandmother tried to teach me that. When real nice tams with designs on it, and then it has looks like little holes in it. That was neat. So they were taught by either English, Ireland, or Scotland. And then, but they made theirs in pieces. The two fronts separate, the back was a whole one, sleeves separate, even the collar was separate. And they would put it all together.
Right.
And our smart ancestors do it all at once like this.
Just
Do it all at once like this.
yeah.
When it's
Yeah.
long enough for the body, and then you split it.
Yeah.
Then, you know, you take enough for the
Yeah.
underarm,
And then you just,
then you do the back, the front, connect it,
so
do the
that-
collar, and then the sleeves.
Yeah.
And I was taught how. My grandmother used to wait till just knit it and just take one stitch and take so much stitches off this way and that way, and then she'd make the pocket after. But I was taught by a nice, I don't know if you know Mary Thomas. She taught me how to do the pocket
Yeah.
as soon as I get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything's moving up
Yeah,
as you
I
go.
don't use a thread and needle like
Yeah.
my grandmother used to.
Yeah.
You know, you do the pocket and you do it right away and you meet that and you carry on. I had a big laugh one time at the sweater buyers. This man was in Cooksila. He was put on a sweater and then he put his hands in his pocket and his hands went right through. Somebody forgot to sew the pockets down. And of course I laugh easy. I started laughing and oh no, I'm embarrassed. The sweater buyer, sweater sellers. Had one aunt that she would do her spinning this kind of thickness, and she would make this part in 8 hours, and the sleeves like 2 hours for each sleeve, maybe. She was fast, you know, a day and a half, and she's got one done.
Do you remember though how the world became aware of Cowichan sweaters? Like how did that all happen?
When the stores opened,
Yeah.
especially Mr. and Mrs. Hill, and I forget the name of the, used to be called Canoe Store. Oh, I forgot their names. But they were very nice people, and they're the ones that would sell it worldwide, I guess, or to other big cities. It was done here, and some of the young girls got married somewhere else, and it spread to other reserves then, and then they found out they could do it.
Let's say in Nanaimo, if they made sweaters, would they call them Cowichan sweaters, or does it have to be made by?
Well, it seems to be, as long as it's Coast Salish, I think.
Coast Salish.
Yeah. It's made on this side of the world, you know, part of Vancouver Island, yeah. It's because some of the Cowichan ladies are in North Van, other reserves, Musqueam, they're good knitters in Musqueam. Yeah, so when I was 16, Indian Affairs said we were cut off. When we're 16, they wouldn't support us to keep on going to school. That's my time, eh? And so my grandmother said, go look for a job. So when I was 16, then that's what I had to do. I don't remember what my first job was. Oh, St. Anne's School. Used to be the boys' school. I worked in a kitchen. After that, there was a hospital at Nanaimo. And it was for all our people that had tuberculosis. And I went to work there. But I guess my family used to worry because there's talk about girls that were working there. And they didn't. My grandparents and my uncle didn't like what they hear from what's happening there. They went all the way to Nanaimo in a car and got me and come on, you come home. My uncle said, "Oh, okay." I was about 18 and I had to go home. So I was out of a job for a while, but the house was so crowded because all my aunts had husbands, and so I went to my other grandmother in Amana. Her name was Christine. And by then I turned 19, and then this lady was working at Queen Margaret School, but she got ill. She come right to the house. "Mary Ellen, go to Queen Margaret's. They need help there. She can't work there anymore. You go take my place." So I was there. I was there for quite a while. I learned how to make yeast bread there. I was 19. Great big. Used to have to make yeast bread every day. Still working there. I turned 20. Then I was still walking along. Comes this man. I know who he is because he was with my cousin. I guess he was with his friends, and he said, "There, go walk her home." No, he didn't listen for a while, and after a while he said, "Oh, I guess so." Next thing you know, I was going home, and he was coming pretending he was going to town. Then pretty soon he asked me to go to their house. So I met his parents. Yeah, I was 20 when we got together. I was 21 when I got my first son, 1957. So it was 1954 when we first met.
Remember what school you went to?
Yeah, St. Catherine's School.
St. Catherine's.
That's right across from the New Life Baptist Church on Zohalem Road.
Okay.
That old building right by Amelia Bob's. That's Amelia Bob's land.
So that wasn't a residential school?
No, it was a day school.
It was a day school?
Yeah.
So you were really lucky then, that you got to stay at home with the culture
And know our language.
no language, learn all the things that you learned.
Yeah. I recognize the deer and over there, the deer and the tree. My grandmother used to love doing that one. Every buyer wanted to do that one. Buy it, and it was popular in those days. And if there was no gray, my grandmother would make gray.
How?
Get the white wool and the black wool and have it to the shade you want and mix it while you're carding. And you know how much black to use for a certain amount? Like just a little bit on that hand carder, and there you've got gray. Like painting. Lucky I remembered, because that's where the real light ones came from, and they loved that.
Yeah.
Light gray. And if there was a real dark gray sheep, then they'd make more gray by making light gray. Lucky I remembered seeing her doing that. I forgot about it. And if there's no black, that's where the dark gray came in. Sometimes it's not so real black, it would be kind of brown. Because you notice, if you look at all the sweaters, they're light gray, light gray. No, it's all done for us, we just have to look at the bag. Socks was popular.
Yeah.
And toques. Tams, I remember Tams was popular. My other grandmother taught me how to do tams. Showed me where to increase and decrease. 49 grandchildren.
49 grandchildren.
And last count for the great-grandchildren was 54. And more on their way.
Yeah. And how many children?
4 sons and 3 daughters for me, and 2 stepdaughters and 2 stepsons. So that's all together with them, counting them.
Yeah. So it sounds like everything you knit is sold almost.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like you could just keep knitting and knitting
Yeah.
and knitting.
Yeah. So I've been doing that since I was 22 then. Except when I got so, I got told I got asthma. And then my eyes got affected by the spinning of the wool, and all that dust bothered my eyes and my lungs. So I had to quit for a while. My other Thunderbird is a real big one. It's for a big person. So I had to look for the smallest one, Thunderbird.
Yeah. That looks really good, that Thunderbird.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a nice one. If anybody asking why the whale's not jumping and he looks so stiff, I'll just say the Thunderbird got him already. It's going to be something.
I wonder if these are going to be made in the future, right? If we're losing our knitters, whether we're going to lose our Cowichan sweaters.
Yes. Because every buyer, like I never ever used to go to Sasquatch, because they don't ever do open. They just buy pullovers,
Yeah.
and then they cut it, and then they sew the zipper on.
Oh.
So to buy a sweater there, it's cut. Our knitting is cut. Uh-huh. And the only one that wanted it the way it's supposed to be was in Cooksaila. And they never ever wanted the sleeves separate, and then they hook it on. This had to be made right from, on top of the arm, the sleeve. But
Why would they do that? Why would they cut it?
cheaper.
Just because they're made faster and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
cheaper to.
yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not finished the same way then.
No.
Yeah.
They asked me to do pullovers, and I offered to make a sweater if I feel like making a sweater.
Even nowadays?
Yeah.
Oh, so they're still doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So when she gave the open sweater, then they take it and they put the zipper in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But all the buyers did the zipper themselves. Only time I put zipper in is when it's a private order, eh?
Right.
Like this, I'd have to get the zipper and
Yeah.
sew it on before I.
Finish.
Yeah. Then it's really finished when you get it.
Yeah. So do you think that in 50 years we'll still be having Cowichan sweaters here, or do you think we're going to lose that?
Yeah, because they don't want to do it. Yeah. To them, it's. Some would like to, but they just. I don't know. They can't learn. I don't know why. Because when my children were all at home, and then, because Gus used to be always into canoe pulling, eh? He would travel, and as they got older, they'd say, "Why can't we go, Mom?" I says, "Money." I said, "Would you knit? Would you all knit?" "Yes, we're going to go to," where did they want to go? To Lummi, Washington, because there's a carnival one there. Every time they put up a race, there's a big carny there. So, okay, for 2 weeks we knit it so we could travel. like in my family, like the only one that knits is my stepdaughter, Martina, and she's the only one. And then on Gus's side, I don't think any of them knit. Oh, I see them knitting, but it's with the bot wool. Our nieces, they're making little money bags or little things, but I never see them making a sweater. So I guess it is gonna fade away.